The answer to that question is yes, but I would also temper my expectations ever so slightly. I wanted to start by saying I did watch the trailer prior to going to the movie today. Just what I picked up from the trailer, the vibes I got were a little bit like The Mist, maybe a hint of Bird Box in there. That's kind of where my expectations were at. I was like, okay, so like a sort of like a new version or retelling of The Mist. That's basically kind of what I walked into it expecting. And what we got was something a little bit different. By no means a film that's gonna knock your socks off. It's nothing that's revolutionary, reinventing the wheel, just put peanut butter and jelly together for the first time. It's nothing like that. That's why I would say temper your expectations. It definitely has a lot of elements of movies that we've seen prior. The aforementioned Bird Box and The Mist. I think it does have some elements definitely from those films. I did want to shout out the two leads here, Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor. I think they did a great job. I honestly did not have high expectations for them. Anne Hathaway in particular, she can kind of be hit or miss for me personally. There's some roles that I don't think that she's necessarily fit for, that she's been cast in. And then there's roles like this that she kind of surprises me with. I can say she did deliver a good performance here. I think a good portion of the movie falls on her back. She's doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. You also have that sort of down-to-earth, a little bit goofy side that Ewan McGregor brings to the role. I really did like his character as well. I think that they did good overall together. There's some slight issues that I had with the movie, but overall I walked out of the theater not disappointed with it. It's nothing that's gonna blow your socks off, but it did keep me entertained, if that makes any sense. So it comes down to our big two questions. Was the film fun? I think I would say yes. But like I said, I wouldn't walk into the film with sky-high expectations. I would kind of go into it middle of the road, kind of medium expectations, just kind of be like, oh, okay, this is going to be like a lesser version of The Mist, essentially. That's kind of where my head would be at. Last question. Do I recommend the film? Oh, that's going to be a bit of a tricky one. Films, if you enjoyed films such as The Mist or Bird Box or anything in that kind of ballpark, maybe even a little bit of the crazies in there, anything in that kind of ballpark, that general direction, I think that you would enjoy this movie overall. If you watched those films previously and they left a bad taste in your mouth or anything like that, I would personally steer clear of this film. I don't think it's something that's really going to mesh well with you, but that's just my opinion. Those were my thoughts on the film overall, and before we head out, I did want to touch on a bit of some spoilers, if that's all right. That is your spoiler warning here. From here on out, we're going to discuss a little bit of spoilers with the film, because I feel like there's some plot holes there at the end that I kind of wanted to get your input on, if that's all right. See what you had to say about them. At the end of the film, when Anne Hathaway's character calls Ewan McGregor, he comes to the house that she called about to deliver the pizza, even though the night that they came back is the night that everything gets teleported to this prehistoric realm or back in time. But earlier in the film, Ewan McGregor had disclosed to us that he had not been working. He had been laid off from the pizza place. So unless I'm crazy or if I'm mistaken, I think that is a bit of a plot hole. If she would have called to have that pizza delivered, he doesn't work for the pizza place at that point. So I find that a little bit bizarre that he showed up to that house with a pizza. That is a potential plot hole. I'm not sure if I'm wrong on that one, but I just found that a little bit bizarre that he did say earlier in the film that he was laid off from the pizza place weeks ago. She called him the night that everything happened, so he would have been laid off by this point, but yet he still shows up to deliver the pizza. It kind of doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Maybe I'm thinking too hard on it. Something that kind of was weighing on my head at the end of the film was that at the very end of the film, it shows that everybody has essentially survived, being the whole teleportation going back in time thing, because it's got everybody listed as a survivor, of course. That insinuates to me that they, Anne Hathaway and co, went back through the portal, then came back to that timestamp about 15-20 minutes before everything gets teleported, like they did when they called Ewan McGregor's character. That kind of insinuates to me that they came back to that point and tried to notify everybody that they could to just vacate that entire area. And unless I'm mistaken there, I feel like that is another bit of a plot hole there. I might be thinking too hard on that one, but I think, unless I'm crazy, it almost seems like they went back through the portal and then got out of it again in order to go back in time at that specific point and in order to call everybody to vacate the area. There's a bit of some narrative leaps there at the end that I don't think that I was necessarily buying. I think the ending kind of did leave me a bit troubled, but that might just be me. Let me know if you have any answers to that. Tell me I'm a dummy down in the comments. And that will do it for this video. As always, thank you for sticking with me.